Hi and welcome to another Type with me. In today's video I want to talk about helpful shorthands in TypeScript. So now with Node.js in the browser, also with machine learning and TensorFlow.js, we have a lot of JavaScript and also TypeScript that can help us, right? Because we have a lot of domains, we have the server, we have the client, we have some kind of machine learning there, so it's great to have some helpful tricks around TypeScript. Well, in this regard, we have here a construct called display name, and display name can be the screen name, but in this case it's NULL, right? Or it can be the default. And if we now put something like this, console.log display name, well, what do you get in the console, right? That's the question, and that's something that we can solve by doing or running this kind of command, right? And of course we get none because screen name is NULL and has no value there, right? If we put here undefined, you'll see here undefined, right? You will see that also there we get none, right? Which is normal. And then if we put a value here, say type with me, which is the screen name, well, if we then execute it, we will get the right name. Of course, an alternative for that would be something like this, right? It would be something like NULL question mark. We will then put screen name, and otherwise we would say none. But this is much more that we need to type in, right? So if I save this and then I run it again, you see here that it still gives me type with me. If I put here NULL, well, then it will give me none, right? And of course, if I do then undefined, this will not work. So if we say screen name question mark, we put screen name, and otherwise we would put none. Yeah, well, then this will work. Also, this will work, undefined, right? And type with me would work, right? So, but again, it's much better to just put two question marks there and provide some kind of default value. You have also other ways to do so, but this is the best way to provide defaults, right? Another great tip or useful tip is try to avoid unknown. You can always use unknown, right? Like here we have T, which is an extent of record string unknown, right? And then we have data T. So if we do so, we can very easily do something like this, create response you provide data, right? It needs to be of type record string. So what we could do is then do something like this, test, which is okay. And we will see here that we get as a response success, boolean, and data is of type test string, right? So it could be useful, but again, try to avoid it if you can. Another thing that's really helpful is to have your class definitions, right? And in this case, we have two class definitions. One is a public name, and the other one is private age, right? And then we can assign it to this name is equals name, but it's much better to have something like this, right? Public name. Of course, we need to remove this one, and then of course we need to remove this one as well, because that's the short version of it, right? And then we have here private. Then we need to remove first one. And of course, we need to remove this one as well. I know these are just easy things, but not everyone that's so familiar with TypeScript know that this is the case to do so. And it's much better, less code to define, right? And it has the same kind of value than putting public right here and then the assignment in the constructor itself. Let me know what you think of this and what your experiences are in the comments below, because I'm very curious. Maybe there are some kind of advantages to use it the other way around. I don't know, but just let me know what you think of it. Another useful tip would be to use enums more, right? Because now, or constants, right? Because now we have a string right here, user, and we have something right here, also user. If you do a typo, well, then your code is not working and you don't know it, right? So if you have an enum right here, for example, events, and then you put something right here like user posts, right? And then you can have here events.user, and if you emit an event, you can very easily do something like events.user. And now you always are sure that you are listening to the right writing that gets emitted, right? So that's again another improvement. Another improvement that would be the case is that you put here, right, typing in, right, name string h number. So this would be an improvement on our code, right? So it's just a helpful tip. Try to avoid strings here. Another thing that you could do, but I think also with enums you could do that, just add here something like this, user, no, and then here posts, right? And now of course is going to use user, and here also user, but again it's been defined within your event .user enum. So again, enums are really great to use it for these kind of use cases, and not a lot of people are using it in their code, but again it can be very handy in a lot of cases. Also, let me know what you think about this approach in the comments below. If you have some kind of remarks or improvements around this, always nice for our viewers to know what you think of this. So thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you liked it. I hope you learned something from it that you can use within your day-to-day job as a programmer. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and see you next time in my next video. Thank you very much. See you. Bye.